All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about this here. So, as you all know, you have Pete Hegseth really caused a firestorm because there's no way around it. They committed a war crime so egregious that even the mainstream media is calling it a war crime. And it takes a lot to get to that point because I've been covering politics full-time since 2012, and I've seen a lot of war crimes in my time, and the media basically never calls a spade because they have this idea baked into the back of their minds that America, we're the good guys, and so the good guys mean well, and so even if we do something that might break a law, well, really, since we meant well, since it comes from a good place, it doesn't really count in the same way that it would count if China did something bad or Iran did something bad. You know how it goes. It's this default factory setting American exceptionalism in mainstream media. But this war crime was so egregious and so over the top and so obvious and so cartoon villain-like that even like CNN is going, yeah, man, that's wildly illegal. That's not acceptable. So, of course, what I'm referring to is the double tap strike. So, as you all know, Trump and Hegseth have been bombing a bunch of dinghy fishing boats on a regular basis in the Caribbean. Over 20 boats have been attacked. At least 83 people have been killed. Some of the boats were, fishermen from Trinidad and Tobago. Some were fishermen from Colombia. Some were fishermen from Venezuela. Zero evidence any of these people were trafficking drugs. And in one instance, I believe, it might have been the first attack, I believe it was on September 2nd, they bombed, they did a terror attack and tried to murder some fishermen. Then there were two that were alive, and they circled back and did what's called a double tap and killed the people when they were clearly no threat whatsoever and in the water and all that, right? And so now even the media is going, come on. In fact, in the literal textbook, the actual manual on this stuff, it says, well, the only time it'd be okay to sort of deny an order is if it's clearly illegal. And the example they give is exactly what happened. Just to put that in perspective for you. So now we know what it would take to get the media to say that's a war crime. It's got to be like the actual textbook example. Because look, I hate to rain on everybody's parade, but the first strike was a war crime too. And is just as egregious as the second one. I hate to tell you that, right? All of the attacks, every single one was a colossal war crime. Because even if it was drug traffickers, which it's not legal to just blow them up. Like, obviously, you're supposed to board the ship, take the drugs, seize them, arrest them, give them their day in court, yada, yada. Okay, so all this is going on. This is a massive deal, bro. This is a massive deal. Everybody's talking about this. Now you got Pete Hegseth and Trump on the run, like straight up, just genuinely scared, where now they're throwing the admiral under the bus and they're making the admiral take the fall for them. Really disgusting. Because they were like claiming credit when they thought it made them look macho and cool. But now that everybody's onto it and that's a war crime and this is a big scandal. Now they're going, we support the admiral who made this decision. We definitely didn't make this decision. These people are bitches. They're total fucking bitches. Like, own the shit, but they won't. They're not. In step the Democrats. Ready for this? Axios has an article. Hakeem Jeffries says not to expect Democrats to pursue Hegseth impeachment. Do not expect them to pursue Hegseth impeachment. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries signaled Monday that Democrats are unlikely to pursue impeachment against Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth over alleged follow-up strikes against boats in the Caribbean. Impeachment has been a fraught subject for Democrats this year, with Jeffries acknowledging that Republicans control both chambers of Congress, and that makes any impeachment effort virtually dead on arrival. Republicans will never allow articles of impeachment to be brought to the floor of the House of Representatives, and we know that that's the case. Jeffrey said at a press conference Monday, Donald Trump will order them not to do it, he added. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt denied Monday that Hegseth was the one who ordered a second strike on an alleged Venezuelan drug boat on September 2nd to take out survivors of an earlier strike. So here's the problem with what Hakeem Jeffries is saying. He doesn't understand that there is immense political value in simply fighting to get the impeachment. Like, if you say, that's it, we're drawing a moral line, this goes way too far, now you're murdering people, now you're doing terror attacks, this is unacceptable, you guys are unhinged, you should be locked up, we're filing the articles of impeachment, and we implore everybody on the other side to get on board with it, and if you don't, history will judge you as a war criminal just like them, right? Just fighting to do it has massive political benefits and upsides. You will be crusading for a good cause. You will rally your base to your side. You will fire them up going into the midterms. You will look righteous because it is righteous. You will look moral because it is moral. Actually taking a stand and arguing for something But that's the thing, man. These establishment Democrats, the corporate Democrats, they're like anti-politics. They don't believe in doing politics. You know, they just they look at everything as like, it is what it is. Like it's a standard political reality. There's nothing we can do about it. Meanwhile, Republicans look at a poll where maybe their position is like 37% support and they go, okay, let's get to work and we'll make it like 52% in a month or two. By all of us hitting the Sunday shows, all of us hammering away on the issue, smearing the other side, giving our argument for our side, and they move the polls. Democrats treat polls like they're stagnant, like politics is not fluid. Like, people believe that, so what are we going to do? You can actually make an argument and move the public. You can engage in persuasion. You can engage in argument. You can make a big fuss. You can make a big stink. We literally have the president and the secretary of defense engaged in a serial killer spree, and you don't want to fucking try to impeach Hegseth over that? And by the way, you also could get some support. Thomas Massie, 100% I think would come to your side. Rand Paul even might come to your side, right? And if you make the argument, you never know how far you can go if you don't fucking try. If you try, maybe you'll surprise yourselves. Because guess what? Some of the Republicans are open to hearings on these strikes. Now, my guess is if you had asked Hakeem Jeffries 3 months ago, he would go, we're not even going to try to do hearings because they're not going to be in favor of hearings either. Well, now here they are through no effort of Hakeem Jeffries. The Republicans go, yeah, we kind of want hearings on this. This seems kind of crazy. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Now imagine if you fight on top of that. So I'm sorry, but he's got to go. He's not a leader. He's not a leader. A natural born leader would be chomping at the bit. So of course we're going to impeach him. Let's make a big spectacle of all this. Let's give all the facts of the American people. Let's show them who they really are. They're fucking disgusting war criminals. You know, we get yelled at for calling them fascists and Nazis. Well, what the fuck is this? What is this? This is Nazi shit. This is fascist shit. This is warmonger shit. So that's the thing that drives me crazy. Look, if I had my way, Chris Van Hollen would be the leader of the Democrats in the Senate, not Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer would resign. AOC would take his seat. And in the House, Ro Khanna would be the head of the Democrats in the House. And, you know, he would be leading. I mean, it's because of Ro Khanna that we got all the big fuss about the Epstein files. It's because of Ro Khanna. Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie worked together to try to force the release of the Epstein files. They helped bring about this giant national conversation that wouldn't have happened otherwise. That's how you do politics, Hakeem Jeffries. But he doesn't get it, or he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He just thinks, it is what it is, right? And, that's why we call you Diet MAGA. Because, you cuck yourselves to these people all this time, and then they get away with everything, right? How about standing up? How about fighting? How about drawing a line in the sand? How about making something an issue? How about doing politics? I know that dirty, icky, difficult thing to do. Politics. You got to have it in you, bro. And he doesn't. I don't think he does. So they continue here. The Washington Post reported last week that Hegseth's directive in the operation was, in the words of one anonymous source, to kill everybody, which led a military commander to order a second strike. Levitt said Hegseth authorized Admiral Frank Bradley to conduct these kinetic strikes. He worked well within his authority and the law, so that's the one that they're throwing under the bus. The White House is lying, but that's no surprise, Jeffrey said at his press conference when asked by Axios about Levitt's comments. It is my understanding that Pete Hegseth, the so-called Secretary of Defense, was absolutely involved. I think he may have even recently acknowledged that because the facts are incapable of being disputed. Jeffries reiterates his past call for Hegseth to resign voluntarily, saying he's the most unqualified Secretary of Defense in American history. The top Republican and Democrat on both the House and Senate Armed Services Committee have said they plan to vigorously investigate the reporting. Jeffries leaned on those probes as the alternative to impeachment, telling reporters what's on the table is a meaningful investigation, which we can hope would be bipartisan. I mean, come on, man. What are you doing? You should be calling them demons and pedophiles. This is what you should be doing. Instead, oh gosh, I hope they'll work together with us. Again, some of them will, but it's a very small percentage, and just stop giving them stolen valor, right? Call them what they are. Do politics, but he doesn't have it in him. So anyway, there you have it. Pathetic. Pathetic is the best way to say it. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.